Join me this week as I show you how to make a super easy and very basic little bench that can become many different things. So stay tuned and see how easy this project is. Alright, so this week we're starting another two-part kind of video series because next week is the one I'm more excited about. Next week I'm going to show you what I call my extreme aging technique. But in order to do that, I needed something to age. So I decided to build a bench, and I figured if I'm building the bench, I might as well show you guys how to build the bench so you can make your own. So here's the pieces that I have cut. I have 4 skinny sticks that are cut 5 inches long. It means you only trim off about they're almost 6 inches, so you need to trim them a little bit. For this particular bench I'm making, it doesn't matter if they're perfect. In fact, not perfect is probably better. And I've put some little marks here. I marked on one of them, I marked in the middle, and I marked 1/2 inch in from each end. You'll see why in a minute. Then we have our 4 legs. Our 4 legs are 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch basswood, and they are 1.5 inches long. Then we have some little cross pieces. We have 3 of these, and these are about 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch basswood, and they are just under 1 inch long. And then we have our support here. This is another skinny stick cut into a 4 1/4 inch piece, and 2 that are 1/2 inch long each. So we're going to start with our 4 long pieces, and we're going to line these up. Now, if you want, this bench is really, it's a good one if you want to do other things. Now, you can make a bench, like I'm showing you. You could also use the same pattern to make a table. Just make it taller and possibly wider, depending on the table you're making. This would make a great sofa table if you were going to put it, to go right behind the couch. I'm just putting some tacky glue and just a couple of dots of super glue on there. Now that little line, that's so I know where to put that piece. And kind of push down. And we're going to do the same thing. And I think I'm going to let this piece set up, and then I'll come back and glue the others, because the one board is a little crooked, so it's going to pull. So we'll let this end glue set, and then I'll be back. So now that first batch of glue is dry, so now we're just going to do the same thing on this end. I'm going to bead a glue. I'll probably do the middle one at the same time, I think. Now, this particular little furniture piece could be made into, like I said, it can be a bench, it can be a table. You can go any scale. You could make this be 1/12 scale like I'm showing, or you could make it bigger and make it for Barbie or American Girl, or you could even translate this into real size and make one for your own front porch with real size lumber. It's just scale it to the size you need. This is such a basic little pattern that it can go anywhere. So now when this glue dries, then we'll add the legs and the little stretcher bar, which is what those pieces are. And then this will pretty much be done. Now, if you are going to do a different finish, I'm doing my extreme aging finish on this. So I will do that after it's all put together. If you want to make the same bench or a table and use wood stain, you would need to wood stain it before you glue together. because wood stain and glue do not play well together. I'm going to hold this until it stays together, and when this glue is dry, I'll be back. Alright, so I made some marks 1/4 inch up from what is going to be the bottom of my table leg, or my bench legs. And now we need to glue the little end spacer in. So I'm just going to put some glue on my tray. And I'm going to get my super glue ready. And hopefully I can do this without having to clamp. Put just a drop of super glue. I'm going to do 2 at once. And then I'll do the other end. Dip my little 1/2 inch piece in there, and this goes vertically above that little line. Yeah. And we'll do the other one. And that will be the beginning of our spacer. Glue should be dry, and I'm not worried if these are not absolutely perfectly straight, because like I said, this is an extreme this is for my extreme aging technique, so you know, it's going to be not the best looking by the time we're done anyway. So I dip that in glue. Now I'm going to stand it up and put it against there, and hopefully this will stand up. Now if you are using the, if you're making this and you're not going to do the extreme aging, you're not going to beat it all up, then you'll need to be a little more careful. But like I said, this is a basic table or bench that makes a really cool, simple piece of furniture. So when these are completely dry, because I want this completely dry, I will glue them on, glue this on, and then basically the construction will be done. Alright, so now I'm going to do these end pieces one at a time, because it's just a little too difficult to get this, have too many wet pieces on there. Put my tacky glue on there. Now, our legs, we want to put, this is the end, the furthest from the cross piece, that we are gluing to the bottom of our piece. So put that there. We're going to line it up with, so it's right outside of this little cross piece, and the edges are even with the edges of the bench. And now that needs to set. Off camera, I'll do the same exact thing on this end, and when this is all dry, then we'll glue this piece on, and then we'll be done. The glue is set up. It's not completely dry, but it's fairly dry, and I will, it's okay if they stick out. This is a kind of dilapidated little bench. Now, we're going to put some glue. Actually, we're going to put this glue on the ends of the board. And once again, we are going to put some super glue right in the middle. And I'm eyeballing this because, like I said, this is going to be extreme aging here on this little sucker. So if it's not completely straight, that's okay. If you're doing something that's supposed to be a little bit fancier, a little bit less rustic, a little less abused, by all means, measure more. But I really want you to see that this is super easy. Okay, kind of eyeballing this so that it goes in the middle. And remembering that super glue sets up pretty fast, so you don't have a lot of time to mess around. There we go. That is our bench. So I'll let the glue dry, and then I'll come back and give you another look at it. Alright, here's how our bench turned out. The glue's all dry. I think it turned out really cool. This would be really cute on a front porch, in a park. I mean, there's all kinds. It's more, I think, in my opinion, more an outside bench. But if you use slightly thinner legs, you can make an inside bench. And like I said, this could become a table. You can adjust this to almost anything. Be sure and check the blog post. I'll talk about some of the easy changes you could make. And stay tuned next week, because this is going to look really old when we get done with it. I hope you enjoyed this project. Be sure and check the blog. Be sure and check Facebook. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.